Welcome back to PirateMonkE Pitches. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and man, I've missed it. So for those of you who are new here, here's a little bit about me. I'm a professional screenwriter. I've been in the writer's room, I've been hired by studios to do rewrites on existing projects, and I've worked on scripts that have actually made it to the screen. So this series, PirateMonkE Pitches, is basically me taking that same professional itch and scratching it for fun. I look at a series, a show, a movie, a comic, what have you, that had a cool concept but fumbled the execution, and I pitch how I would have tackled it from a writer's perspective. Think of it as a professional rewrite, but for free and maybe with a little bit more complaining. So, I just finished reviewing Captain Planet and the Planeteers from Dynamite Comics. You can check that out on the channel. And in that video, I mentioned how the comic jumped straight to end of the world, sky is falling, god tier villain territory way too fast. We got nuclear meltdowns, global floods, Captain Pollution turning into anime Satan, all in like 6 issues. Well, technically 2 issues because everything all basically happened in the final 2, but we barely got to know any of the main characters, is my biggest pet peeve. It was like meeting someone for the first time and 5 minutes later, they're telling you about their divorce and how the world's going to end. Anyways, after doing that review, I was left with that familiar itch. That itch a writer gets when they see a foundation with so much potential, but the blueprints just suck. So let's say Dynamite Comics calls me up. They say, PirateMonkE, we love your passionate complaining. Here's the license. We have 6 issues. Give us a season 1 that actually works. So here it is. My version of Captain Planet, my rewrite, my pitch. First, the instinct is to do what everyone dreams of, dedicate an issue to each Planeteer. Deep dive origin. But with 6 issues, that's a trap. You'd have 5 issues of setup and 1 issue of them as a team. That's a pacing nightmare, so we scrap that. Instead, we're going to make one first arc a crucible. A pressure cooker that forges its team while they're dealing with their first major crisis. And the key is to think small. Well, not small, but street level. Keep it contained, keep it personal. The official comic's biggest problem was its scale. It starts way too big. You don't start your superhero stories with the guy literally trying to destroy the earth. You start with something human, something grounded. Then you build up. Think Avatar: The Last Airbender. Season 1 wasn't about fighting the Fire Lord. It was about helping a village, or stopping a corrupt earthbender, or dealing with Sokka's sarcasm. You build character before you build cataclysm. So instead of having Captain Planet and the gang go full Avengers Endgame by season 3, I'd pull things back. Make it street level, make it personal. Let us get to know these people before they save the world. So here's how I'll do it. We start with the same inciting incident from the comic, but we lean into it hard. So in issue 2, Wheeler rolls into town, all attitude and no direction. He's passing by this massive protest outside Plunder Industries. It's tense, someone jostles him, he gets angry, and bam, his ring goes off, a car explodes. In the comic, this is resolved pretty quickly. In my version, this is the match that lights the fuse. This moment doesn't happen in issue 2, it happens in issue 1. And it is the moment that becomes the inciting incident for the entire first arc. The explosion freaks everyone out. Crowd panics. The cops rush in. Someone throws a rock, and the next thing you know, the city is on fire. Storefronts smash, sirens blaring, people looting. We got a full-blown city-wide riots. This isn't just a scuffle, this is chaos. That's your Act 1 setup. And here's the thing, it's not just a random riot. It's a reflection of the comic's themes. Anger, pollution, human destruction, not just of the planet, but of each other. And our newly chosen Planeteers are thrown in the middle of it, not as a unified team, but as 5 scared, powerful individuals who have no idea what they're doing. The big issue with the real series is that the Planeteers don't feel like people. They feel like mouthpieces for a PSA. So in my version, every one of them has a character arc that ties into this riot and its aftermath. This chaos becomes the backdrop for their arc. Because if we don't care about the people wearing the rings, why should we care about the rings? So let's break down our core trio for this arc. First up, Wheeler. His arc is all about guilt and control. He accidentally started this. That burning building, the looted family business, the person who gets hurt in the chaos, that's on him. The weight of that is crushing. He's guilt-ridden. He blames himself for the chaos that's tearing the city apart. He's scared of his own powers. He doesn't trust himself to use them again. His entire motivation becomes mastering his power, not to be a hero, but to make sure he never loses control like that again. Control being the key word. He's got to control his fire. He's got to control his temper. He's got to control the destruction he can cause. He's not fighting for justice. He's fighting for redemption. He's desperate to clean up a mess he created. You want to give him even more of an emotional hook? Have someone die in the riot. Maybe a protester, maybe a cop, maybe just some random guy trying to protect his store. Suddenly it's not just pollution bad, it's I caused this, I need to make it right. That's an arc. Then we have Linka. She's the ideological heart of the conflict. She was at that protest for a reason. She's from a place where corruption and exploitation are real, so she gets it. She believes in the cause. She knows Plunder is a corrupt polluter, so she believes in the people standing up against him. But as things spiral, as the protests turn violent, she realizes these people she thought were fighting for justice are now burning down their own city, so she's torn. So when Wheeler wants to shut the riot down, she's conflicted. Is she stopping violence, or is she silencing legitimate anger? Her arc is about the messy line between protests and destruction. She has to learn that a just cause doesn't justify unjust actions. She and Wheeler are instantly at odds, creating fantastic internal team conflict. Finally, we have Marty, the kid with the heart ring, everyone's favorite meme character. In the show, that meant talking to animals. In our version, let's make it terrifying. Let's say he's an empath. His powers don't just make him sense feelings, they overwhelm him. He feels the emotional state of the city. As the riot spreads, he starts absorbing all that fear, anger, and hatred from the people around him. He's drowning in it. It's overwhelming. It's poisoning him. While Wheeler is screaming, we have to stop this, Alinka is arguing, but are we on the right side? Marty is in the corner having a full-blown existential crisis. How can I save these people? They're consumed by so much darkness. Maybe the planet would be better off without us. He goes from idealist to nihilist. His arc is a fight for his own soul, to see if he can find any light in all that darkness to justify saving humanity. It becomes about rediscovering the good in people again. He starts to understand that, yeah, humans can be awful, but they can also change. That's huge for him. Now you've got three characters with clashing morals, clashing goals, and clashing emotions, all trapped in a chaotic city on fire. That's your drama. That's your tension. That's your hook. But what about Guy and Kwame? Well, trying to have 5 people A-plots in 6 issues is a bit much. So instead, Guy and Kwame are going to be our anchors. They're going to be our moral center. They're the ones who have to hold this fracturing team together. They become the grounding forces, the moral compass for the rest of the team. They're the ones trying to hold the group together when everyone else is falling apart. Guy, with her calm wisdom, is the one who talks Lincoln down from her ideological ledge. Kwame, with his innate strength and compassion, is the one pulling Wheeler out of his guilt spiral and showing Marty glimpses of the good in people. They are the glue. We'll see their deeper backstories for Season 2, but here their primary function is to be the team's conscience. Kwame, as a quiet leader who says, we don't fix the planet by burning it down. And Guy is the one who connects with the victims, the bystanders, the family caught in the crossfire. Together, they're the human perspective. They're the ones reminding the team why they fight in the first place. So we have our character engine. But what are they actually fighting? Every good story needs a villain. And no, we're not jumping straight to Captain Pollution. We're going to save Plunder and Captain Pollution for a later season. For this arc, the villain is the chaos itself, but puppeteered by a more immediate threat, one of Plunder's lieutenants. Let's go with Commander Bleak. He's perfect. He's boots on the ground. We reveal that Plunder Industries, seeing the protests was gaining too much sympathy, planted agitators in the crowd. Bleak's men are the ones escalating the violence, fueling the fires, making sure this riot doesn't end. Why? Because it's good for business. The chaos discredits the environmental movement. The arson and destruction cause a massive spike in pollution. And most importantly for Plunder, it's the perfect live fire test to draw out these new elemental freaks he's heard rumors about. He gets to see their powers, their tactics, and their weaknesses, all from the safety of his corporate tower. He's not trying to destroy the planet, he's trying to own it. He's a guy who doesn't just pollute the earth, he pollutes humanity. The arc accumulates not in a punch-up with a giant monster, but in a team learning to work with their city. Wheeler learns control to create fire breaks and contain blazes. Linka uses her knowledge of the city and its people to help direct aid and de-escalate situations. Mahdi, finally finding his center, uses his empathy to locate people trapped by the violence and to pinpoint the source of the most manufactured hate, leading them directly to Commander Bleak. So for the action, we don't use Plunder directly. We use one of his goons, Commander Bleak. Let him be the on-the-ground threat, leading the fake protesters, turning up the violence, taking hostages, escalating everything. That's your big final showdown. The Planeteers have to work together for the first time to stop the chaos they helped cause. They take down Bleak. They realize Plunder was behind it all, but they have no evidence they can use to lock him up. But that doesn't matter. The riot is quelled and the city is saved. And our heroes? They're not world saviors yet. They're just 5 people who barely know what they're doing. But they're starting to get it. They've learned that saving the planet isn't about fighting gods or stopping nuclear meltdowns. It's about fixing what's right in front of you. Because before you can save the world, you've got to save each other. And in our final page, we see Plunder in his office watching the news. He's not angry, he's smiling. His plan worked perfectly. He's identified his new enemies, and on his desk, we see the beginnings of his real plan. Schematics for a device to siphon their elemental energy. We get a chilling final panel, close-up of his face as he whispers, "Time to create a little pollution." This is going to be your setup for Captain Pollution appearing later on down the road. And that right there is Season 1. We end with a street-level victory, but the shadow of a planet-level threat now looms. Care about our heroes because we've been inside their heads. We've seen them argue, fail, and barely succeed. The stakes are personal. When Captain Pollution finally shows up later in the series, it's not just a random villain, it's the direct consequence of their first hard-won battle. That's my pitch for Captain Planet and the Planeteers. It's less disaster movie and more about human flaws, moral compromise, and learning that being a hero isn't about saving the planet, it's about understanding it. So if Dynamite had done something like this, something smaller, dirtier, more emotional, I think the series could have really hit, but hey, that's just my take. What do you guys think? Does a more character-driven, street-level Captain Planet work for you? Or do you prefer the global threats right out the gate? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, thanks for watching another PirateMonkE Pitches. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't, hit the bell for notifications. Maybe drop some of your ideas in the comments below. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.